Hey guys, I'm Nisa Homey. Today I'm sharing 4 healthy summer drinks. No added sugar or dairy milk. Super healthy, refreshing summer recipes ideal to include in your weight loss journey. So let's get started with the recipes. Into my small stone grinder, I'm adding in 4 to 5 cardamoms. And I'm lightly crushing the cardamoms. Once the cardamoms are crushed, remove the seeds. And then powder the cardamom seeds. Freshly ground cardamom gives an amazing flavor, so try not to skip this process. First, I'm going to make a vegan, dairy-free flavored milk, and for that I have already soaked 10 to 12 cashew nuts, or about a handful of cashew nuts. Instead of cashew nuts, you can use overnight soaked and peeled almonds. Into my small chutney grinder, I'm adding in the soaked cashew nuts. I soaked the cashew nuts for about 10 to 15 minutes. Into this, I'm adding in some water. I have measured half cup of water. I'm adding 1/4 cup of water into the small chutney grinder. For natural sweetness, I'm using 1 soft medjool dates. Note that the dates I'm using is very soft. If the dates you are using is not soft like mine, you may need to soak it along with the cashew nuts. So basically we are making a cashew milk which is sweetened with dates, and for flavor I'm adding in the freshly ground cardamom powder. And now I'm going to blend this really well. Okay, now it's nicely blended, and as you can see it is slightly thick. So into this I'm adding in the rest of the measured water, that is 1/4 cup of water from the half cup of water I had already measured. And I'm adding in another 1/4 cup of water, and I'm going to blend this again. Okay, now the cashew milk is nicely blended. I'm going to transfer this into another cup. Altogether I added 3/4 cup of water. You can see how thick and creamy the cashew milk is. And now I'm going to keep this aside. This is 1 cup of chopped and de-seeded watermelon cubes. So what I've done is, after chopping it, I kept it in the refrigerator. So this is very chilled watermelon cubes. I'm adding the watermelon cubes into the serving glass. Now into the cashew milk, I'm adding in about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of soaked sabja seeds. Sabja seeds are also known as basil seeds. Sabja seeds has cooling properties, hence it's ideal to use in the summers. And pour the prepared flavored cashew milk over this. Some extra watermelon cubes on top to garnish. And lastly, I'm garnishing it with a sprig of fresh mint leaves. And my super healthy watermelon milk is ready to serve. To make cold cocoa recipe, I'm using overnight soaked almonds. I'm going to peel the skin. I'm using about 15 soaked almonds in this recipe. Okay, now I have peeled the soaked almonds, and you can also see that the almonds has sprouted a little. So this helps in better nutrient absorption. Into my small chutney grinder, I'm adding in the soaked and peeled almonds. Into this I'm adding in half cup water, 1 tablespoon arrowroot powder, add in 1 tablespoon unsweetened raw cacao powder. For added sweetness, I'm using medjool dates. Medjool dates are soft, hence it is easy to blend. In this recipe, I'm using 2 medjool dates. You can increase or decrease dates to suit your taste. If you don't have soft medjool dates at hand, then you may need to soak the dates before using. And now I'm going to blend all this really well. And once blended, it has become into a thick, creamy consistency. Into a saucepan, I'm adding in the blended mix. Now into the chutney grinder, I'm adding in 3/4 cup water. And I'm washing down the residue into the saucepan. So this way you can prevent any wastage. And now with a spoon, give it a good mix. And I'm placing the saucepan onto the stove. Almond milk may sometimes curdle, so keep it on low flame and keep on stirring. We don't want the almond milk to curdle. Once it starts boiling, you can see steam releasing out like this. And at that stage, you can turn off the flame. And after turning off the flame, keep on stirring it for about 30 to 50 seconds so that we can be sure that the almond milk will not curdle. Now, because of the arrowroot powder, the mix will be slightly thick. Now, to give it a luscious chocolate flavor, I'm adding in 2 squares of dark chocolate. And give this a stir. Because I'm adding dark chocolate in this mix, I'm not using vanilla extract. However, if you prefer, you can use vanilla extract. And once you add the dark chocolate into the hot mix, it will get dissolved easily because of the heat. So you just need to keep on stirring it for the dark chocolate to get melted. I'm going to allow this to cool down completely, and then I'll show you how to assemble the cold cocoa. Now, to assemble the cold cocoa, I'm using some ice cubes. I have added the ice cubes onto a clean cotton napkin, and I'm covering the cotton cloth, and then I'm crushing the ice cubes. And now you can see that the ice cubes are nicely crushed. I'm transferring the crushed ice cubes onto a serving glass. And meanwhile, the cocoa mix has cooled down, and as you can see, it's slightly thick once it has cooled down. It coats the back of the spoon. This is because of the arrowroot powder, and because of the added dark chocolate, it has an amazing chocolate flavor. And now I'm going to pour this into the serving glass. And my super healthy cold cocoa is ready to serve. 12 to 13 overnight soaked and peeled almonds. I'm adding the almonds into my small chutney grinder. Into this, I'm adding in half cup of water. For added sweetness, I'm using dates. If the mangoes you are using is very sweet, you can totally omit adding the dates. Adding dates is entirely optional, but if you are making for kids, I highly recommend you to use dates as needed. If the dates you are using is not soft like mine, you may need to soak it for at least 10 to 15 minutes to make the dates soft and easily blendable in the grinder jar. And now I'm going to blend this until everything is nicely mixed and combined. So basically I'm making a naturally sweetened almond milk. If you don't have dates at hand, you can use any sweetener of your choice like coconut sugar, palm sugar, jaggery powder, or even maple syrup. So now I'm going to blend this until everything is nicely mixed and combined. The vegan, dairy-free, naturally sweetened almond milk is ready. So I'm going to transfer this into another cup. You can see how thick and creamy the homemade almond milk is. Now, as you can see, there are some residue in the chutney grinder. So I'm adding in about a tablespoon of water, and I'm just washing down the residue into the cup. So this way you can make sure that there are no wastage. I'm using a medium-sized Alfonso mango. I'll be using around 100 to 150 grams of mango. I'm making small gashes in the mango itself with a knife. And with a spoon, I'm scooping out the mango pieces. Add the scooped mango pieces into the serving glass. I'm going to take one slice from the other side of the mango, make gashes in the mango, and then scoop the mango pieces into the serving glass. With a muddler or with the back of a spoon, I'm mashing the mango pieces. Filling the glass with ice cubes. Pour the prepared homemade almond milk over it. Top it with some mango cubes. And my super healthy, dairy-free and vegan mango milk is ready to serve. Adding in 1/4 cup warm water. Into this, I'm adding in 1 teaspoon organic instant coffee powder. You can increase instant coffee powder as per your taste. 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of coffee powder will be ideal. And once it is nicely mixed, keep it aside. Into my small chutney grinder, I'm adding in 10 to 12 overnight soaked and peeled almonds. I'm adding in 1 soft medjool dates. Now, if your dates is not soft like mine, you may need to soak it for at least 10 minutes and then add it into the blender. I'm using medjool dates, and as you can see, it's very soft and is easily blendable. This I'm adding in half cup water. And I'm going to blend this until everything is nicely mixed and combined. So basically I'm making a naturally sweetened almond milk. If you have almond milk or cashew milk or any plant-based milk at hand, you can totally omit this process. And now I'm going to blend this until everything is nicely mixed and combined. And my homemade naturally sweetened almond milk is ready. I'm transferring it into another bowl. As you can see, there is some residue almond milk in the chutney grinder. So into this I am adding in some water, about a couple of tablespoon water, and I'm washing down the residue into the cup. And now I'm going to keep this aside. To serve the cold coffee into a serving glass, I'm adding in ice cubes. And then I'm pouring the almond milk over the ice cubes. You can see how creamy the almond milk is. And lastly, I'm topping it with the prepared coffee. And my super healthy, sugar-free and dairy-free cold coffee is ready to serve. So guys, do try these healthy summer drinks and let me know in the comments how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.